Hello everyone, it seems to have been a while since I've shared anything with you, but I have been working on some projects. I just haven't finished them all as yet, but I have finished two projects that I can show you, and the first one is a handbag I made, or purse I think you call it over in America, and let me see if I can okay, it's alright, somebody else will get the phone. That is the handbag I've made, and I used a tutorial from a lady on YouTube by the name of Vicky Lee. I think it could be Vicky Lee Bags. I will put a link to that in the description box below, and she does some really good tutorials on bags and pockets you can make and things like that. And I bought this fabric online, and I thought the colour was a little bit different, and when it arrived it wasn't what I wanted for the job that I wanted it for, but I still really like it. I thought it was lovely, and so I've used this fabric on here with a contrasting beige colour and also another contrasting colour on the inside. And I have a little loop here to put a charm on. I have just put this brooch on here because this is actually going to someone, and this can quite easily come off. I've just glued that little bow there just to look pretty, and they can put whatever kind of charm they want to put on the bag. And of course it doesn't have to be used as a handbag. It can be used like as a planner bag or a hobby bag or anything like that. And it has two pockets at the front there, and it has one large pocket at the back. It has some handles, and this is the first time I've made a bag like this. It has a zip, and on the inside I've just put the little journal I made because it matches it really nicely, and I'll put a link to this journal in the description box below also. And as you can see, it was all fully lined. I've put at the bottom here, I've put just one of those thick pieces of plastic that you get in the green bags, just to sturdy up the bag a bit, and I put that down there so the base doesn't flop down. And on the inside it has 5 pockets, and I'll show you that in a moment. So that's the inside. It opens up really nicely and wide. It has 2 pockets on that side and 3 on the other. The bottom is lined also, but like I said, I've just put that thick plastic so that when you put something in it, the bottom stays nice and flat. I think that's pretty much all I can say about the bag. I also made a tissue pocket tissue cover, and I followed another tutorial by Vicky Lee Bags, and it worked out perfectly. But there was one problem. These days tissues can't go in those kinds of holders anymore because tissue packets open from the top. They have a top opening, and I don't really buy tissues very often. I didn't realise. See, they have a top opening like that, and I thought, oh, so I wonder if I can just cut it down there and have it like that, and I put that in there. The only thing is the tissues are laid in there differently these days. They're meant to just be, you know, pulled out like that. They don't concertina out. So that didn't work either. So although I love how they turned out, I can't get tissues to finish those off. And they are beautiful, you know, they're all nicely gusseted and everything like that, and fully lined with a contrasting fabric. The lining fabric, which is this fabric, is just a fabric I got off eBay, and I will put a link to that in the description box below also, because that was really, it was a cheap fabric, but it's a nice, like, it's a really nice kind of fabric. It does fray easily, that's the only drawback. So I had to design a little tissue holder myself. I looked on YouTube to see if I could find any for this style, and I couldn't find anything that I liked, so I've just made up my own little pattern for it, and they just slip in like that. I've just lined it in this fabric here, which is the contrasting fabric on the bag, and it slips in there quite nicely. I did actually make it like this, and it was too small, so this was my like third attempt. I thought if this doesn't work, I'm not making it, and that's it. I've put a little it was a bit of ribbon across here, covered in some lace from Lynn Harris, thank you Lynn, and a bow, and that top part just tucks into under that flap there, and it's just a nice little gift idea, something you can pop into your handbag. Obviously, you know, if you were wanting to just put it in your everyday bag, you may not embellish it with a bow, but as a gift I think it's a nice little touch. And that is it. It's gusseted down the bottom here and up the sides, and it worked out quite well, so I didn't have to not make one. So that's my latest project, and I hope you like it. It was fun to, you know, try something a little bit different, like a handbag, and I'm pleased with how it turned out. It's not perfect by any means, you know, being my first attempt. There's probably a couple of things that could have been done a little bit better, but I'm still very, very pleased with it. I will show you the bottom of it so you can see the bottom. There's the bottom, there's the, it worked out really well, and her tutorial was very easy to follow, very easy indeed. So there we go. Thank you ever so much for watching, and take care. Bye.